I think he spends about $4 million for each video on average.
$4 million production budget per video?
Per video.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
on average.
huge. That's bigger than any like Gucci, Vuitton, any of their campaigns. That's massive.
It's huge.
I like this separation that you're creating as far as like the big names and then the experts, the small micro influencers, the experts in their area. I always feel from an advertising agency perspective that it's the smaller experts that actually trigger the sales, right? Especially if you're, very trustworthy. Like, for example, I know that people look at their Peloton instructors as knowing everything possible in that genre. So if those Peloton instructors want to sell gear, equipment, devices specific to cycling, most of their fans don't even hesitate. They just trust and they buy. Versus the bigger side, I think you mentioned earlier, Mr. Beast. I mean, we got to get into Mr. Beast for a second. We've never spoke about him before on this show, but he is really at the top of the mountain now. I mean, he's just so impressive with what he's built and what he continues to build. I know that you recently wrote a story, if I understand correctly, where he's generating now more revenue from merchandise like chocolate. Is that correct? Versus the content that he's creating itself?
Yeah, he did $250 million of revenue in chocolate last year. I mean, it's
250 million.
250 million, which is wild to think about. And it's sort of the economic engine for his videos. He loses money on his videos most of the time, either because he's giving away a lot of money, or I think he spends about $4 million for each video on average.
$4 million production budget per video?
Per video.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
on average.
huge. That's bigger than any like Gucci, Vuitton, any of their campaigns. That's massive.
It's huge.
Wow.
And if you think about the scale of what he's doing, right, it sort of makes sense if he's traveling to the most dangerous places in the world and he's flying all around the world and you bring the crew there. And he has hundreds of people that work for him. So he's just taken it to a whole different scale, right? I mean, there are just not many people at his level, but that's an indicator of the potential of this industry. You think about, he has his YouTube channel, of course, the sort of media engine. He had the #1 unscripted show on Amazon with Beast Games. He has Feastables, which did the $250 million in sales. He has another brand, Lunchly. He had a chain of restaurants called Mr. Beast Burger. I think he's no longer involved. There were some lawsuits and things like that. He has a software company called ViewStats that does analytics on YouTube. And he's planning to launch more companies and more brands all under this umbrella of, Beast Industries, and all sort of supported by this media engine of, we're going to have a video every week and we're going to promote our products in the video. And I mean, it's just massive, right? And then he has, I think, 360 million subscribers right now on YouTube, probably more than that. So he's
incredible.
really building this diversified company, and he's been raising money at a $5 billion valuation. Could there be an IPO in the future? I mean, the potential is pretty wild.
So you're really looking at a company, like I think you referred to it as Beast Industries. I mean, it's kicking off. It sounds like about $1 billion in revenue from all of these ancillary products and services that he's providing.
Yeah, hundreds of millions for sure. At the very least, hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue. And again, it's like Feastables, I think he started a couple years ago. And to hit that amount of sales in the CPG space is hard to do. But we see brands led by creators doing that, right? They're hitting sales faster. Now, we'll see what the longevity is of it, but the power of having an audience, of having a bunch of followers, they know your name and they go into Walmart and they see, oh my gosh, Mr. Beast, if you're like a young boy, that's a dream for you. And of course, you're going to make your mom or your parents buy you that chocolate bar over any other bar on the shelf because you're watching his videos every single week, right?